Hi. So, when I was getting my high nostril done and doing the research, I could not find any videos on YouTube about it. So, I'm making one. So, my name's Courtney, and these are my high nostrils. So, first thing for me was finding a good piercer, and I phoned a few places up, and the first one was where my old piercer used to work, but she had an injury and she's no longer piercing. So I phoned them up and I said, "Hey, do you do high nostrils?" And I'm not sure who answered. I think it was the person who works as a receptionist. And she says, "Oh, I don't know what you mean." And then I kind of explained what they were in the placement, and she said, "Oh, yeah, we can do that." And I was like, thank you. And then I thought, well, actually, I'll try somewhere else because if they don't know what I'm talking about straight off the bat, they might not have the knowledge to do what I needed to do. So then I tried another shop, one that had a good reputation in my city. More expensive, of course, but that's kind of what you get when you're looking for high quality piercings, especially more unusual ones like high nostrils. So I phoned them, and they knew what I was talking about straight away. And it wasn't even the piercer who answered the phone; it was the receptionist, and she was like, "Yep." And then she told me a little bit about them, and then she said, "We'll give you a consult. And if the consult goes well and your anatomy is fine, we can do them on the day." So I was like, "Cool, sweet." Um, so when I arrived for my consult, they said these piercings are quite hard to heal. So you need to make sure that if you're getting them, you need to find time to heal them. You can't take them out. I think she said about 6 months. So you heal them like a cartilage piercing. Anyway, so they are long term and they're not meant to be taken out anytime soon. Give you another look. So as you can see on my nose that they're quite high up. They actually go just below. It turns into like really solid cartilage. So like my solid cartilage kind of starts here. And it's just below it. So you know when you stick your finger up your nose and you have those little weird like things in the way. It's like just before that. Like if you push on it, it would make you sneeze. So sometimes when I'm wiping my nose and I push them in, they do make me sneeze. Yeah, so she said it's a commitment, but luckily I have a job that lets me have as many piercings as I would like, so that's cool. So the process, actually, before I talk about that, with piercers, yeah, you do want to make sure you know what you're getting done and someone who knows what they're talking about. So with her, like the fact that I phoned up the store and they knew what I was talking about straight away, and then they told me a few things about the piercing, that was a really good sign to me. I think I paid, I think about $80 each, which is like quite a reasonable price for a piercing. Like that's what you would expect to pay for a good piercing. So once I was there, she marked them up for me. We played around with placement a little bit. I think I have to move it a couple of times just to check. Like it's quite hard because you can't pierce them like too far out or too far in because of the placement. Like they're very delicate placement, and like with these ones, they're like kind of a easy angle. Like they sit with your nose, but these ones they're like a more of a vertical angle. So that's why they're harder to heal, but you have to place them like that. So they fit properly, if that makes sense. And that's why they become harder to heal. So we marked them up. The jewelry, she showed me the jewelry before we put them in, but they're like, it's basically a labret bar with a flat back, 16 gauge, and it's flat on the top as well. So it's basically like a disc with a little bar in between. So she showed me it before we put it in. She was really good. I did fill out a form saying, like if I have any health issues and all that. I do have dissociation, so I told her that I might dissociate, and she was actually really good about it. She asked me a few questions, and then she laid me down. And we had to put, oh my god, we had to put the, I can't remember what it's called, but like whatever sterilizes the inside of your nose, and we had to like shove it right up there and just like give it a whirl round. Oh, it was horrible. I imagine if you've had a COVID test, that's what that would be like. But I didn't sneeze, though. This was quite good. I didn't sneeze during the whole process until, like, the very end after the jewelry was already in. But she laid me down, she clamped it. And she did one side and then she did the other. And I just slightly moved my head for the other. But, tell you what, I thought it was going to hurt so much. It was fine. Like, my eyes watered like every nose piercing I've ever had. But it honestly wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to hurt so much. But it was fine. Yeah. So then I'll give you a look at them. We put longer bars in for the swelling, of course. So we want to go down 2 millimeters when they're healed. I went in for a checkup a couple of weeks ago and she said, oh, they're actually not ready yet, which is annoying because when I had a cold, I was sneezing a lot because of the placement of them. So I'd try wipe my nose and that's so weird, and then I'd just sneeze heaps. So that's like probably one of the downsides of them. I've actually just changed these bottom ones into flat discs as well because they were regular nose studs, but now they're Libret studs in there, which is cool. So now I feel like a robot, like a cyborg. So interesting, like with healing, like I found, whenever I flared my nostrils for the first couple of days, like it really hurt. And then after that, they didn't really hurt. So it was about 3 days, which is normal for all my piercings. They hurt for about the first 3 days and then they were right. They did crust on the top quite a bit. So I did go in and clean them with saline solution. My piercer said that just try to let them heal as naturally as possible and just keep them clean, but don't overdo it. So yeah, I went in with saline and cleaned the crusties off when I needed to. Rather than that, I pretty much left them. Which is like, I don't know, I feel like that's a good way to heal piercings. Just let your body do the work. And it's like, if you're eating healthy and exercising, you shouldn't really have much issues healing them. I do find they actually like catch a lot of bogies and stuff, which is, it's a bit gross, but like you kind of have to clean them out a bit. I have found, like, because they are cartilage piercings, that I need to clean them a lot, and that the skin is like, I don't really know how to like describe it, but it's kind of like when you get your ears done and there's like a bit of extra skin hanging around it, like on your cartilage piercings, like in here, or whatever. Like that happened when I had my industrial. It's got this excess skin up here, but it went away eventually, so that will happen in my nose. But it's only on the inside, so it's good, because on the outside, I don't know if you can see this. How do I film this? No, it's out of focus, but there's no issues on the outside with the skin. It's only on the inside that is irritated, so that's quite good. But it is completely normal. My piercer said in about 3 weeks or so I can come back, make an appointment, and we can look at how the jewelry's healing, how my nose is healing, and what size jewelry we can put in then, because we do have to wait for it to go right down, because the next size down is 2 millimeters, whereas right now it has like an extra millimeter in it. You can't really see. Kind of. But yeah, so I can get an extra mil kind of out of it, but it needs 2 mil. It was interesting because I have actually never seen this piercing in real life before, and then I just went and got it. But my piercer said she'd done a couple of them. But yeah, super rare piercing, so I would definitely recommend shopping around and making sure that you're going to someone who knows what they're doing. Yeah. In terms of like jewelry changing, I'm gonna get my piercer to do it because they're actually so high up there and they're internally threaded. So I think she's gonna use like you can get like these tools that thread onto them, and then you can like pull them out and thread the jewelry on and then push it through again. Like I did see it on a YouTube video here. I'm not too keen on changing them myself in the future, but it depends like what jewelry I get for them. I'm probably gonna want something that has like that uses a screw, like either internally or externally threaded, because I don't want them to come out accidentally. Because they're actually quite hard to get in and out. But yeah. Surprisingly, I haven't actually had many reactions to them. Like most people who know me didn't even notice because of the amount I already have. And I used to have dermals as well in my eyes. So people are just used to me having lots of facial piercings. Only like 2 people noticed that I had new ones. Which is like, it was surprising to me because they're actually quite a rare piercing that no one really asked me questions about it. They just kind of like see these and just like, you know, whatever. But I imagine that if it was like my only piercing or if I only had a couple, I'd get more questions. But people just take my whole appearance on now. But my piercer said that it was probably good that no one noticed because it means that it's got a good placement. Like that it kind of just sits with the natural rhythms of your face. Yeah. That's probably about it. Pain out of 10, probably about a 5. Like really regular, normal kind of piercing pain. Probably about the same as these guys. Same as these guys. Same as this. They're not as more painful than these. Not as painful as this. Would I recommend getting it? Yes, if you can heal it properly. Like the actual process wasn't bad at all. Like getting my dermals was way more painful. Like the healing process has been really good. Actually they're really easy piercing to get considering they're quite rare and quite high up. They have been really good. So as long as you have a job that allows you to keep the jewelry in, because you wouldn't want to change the jewelry frequently, it would just cause scarring and it'd be a wreck. You wouldn't want to put any non-straight jewelry in them either. As long as you got high quality jewelry to deal with the long-term heal. So yeah, so I'm about what, six weeks in. So I might do an update later, but that's it really. Ask me questions down below and I can answer them if you have any more. But yeah, there they are. Like and subscribe. I mean, no one's really going to do that, but see ya!